Welcome and thanks for joining us at the Grown-Ups Table. I'm Dave Patterson.
And I'm Dylan Daquano. This is the podcast where we talk about the shit that you never learned, but you probably should have.
That's right. We all have knowledge gaps and things nobody taught us that suddenly the world expected us to know. So we started a podcast to help people figure out this whole adulthood thing.
We ourselves aren't experts, and if we claim to be, we're probably just trying to bullshit our way through something. So the plan is to have guests on the show to talk about a whole range of shit that you probably should learn about if you want to come across as a semi-functioning adult.
Shit like nutrition, mortgages, car maintenance, cooking, home repairs.
How to not be an asshole at a wedding, fitness, how to crush a job interview, and so much more. Here are some of the highlights from upcoming episodes to give you an idea of what you can expect.
Why do I have to stretch so much now that I'm in my late 20s in order to not feel like death the next day?
Yeah, man, like I said, I think at a certain point, recovery is not as natural for us, so that's part of it, is just aging. Like, unfortunately, that's where we're at. And then secondly, it's just, I mean, if you think about the percentage of your day that you're sitting now versus when we were super active and doing all these other things, it's like your body just adapts to that. So you're trying to reverse all of the effects of sitting for 10 straight hours in a span of 5 minutes and thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna go great, like, I'm gonna feel good.
Well, how do you know when it's time to find a paralegal?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as someone who is a paralegal, I'm going to say just talk to a paralegal first, at least. But I mean, the small claims court was supposed to be designed to be tailored to the self-represented person. Unfortunately, there's so many little details that if you're not really going to take the time to go through the website, maybe call the court clerks to understand the process, you might get tripped up on a lot of little nuances that are then going to set you back and end up costing you more money.
They always claim that they never use butter in Italian cooking. And that's a big thing they always claim. It's always olive oil, right? The French use butter. Italians use olive oil. And it's bullshit. And it is bullshit. Everything is mounted with butter. And that means at the very end of your dish, you put butter in and you toss it. And that's what makes everything velvety and creamy. And that's why you go to a restaurant and you're like, man, this dish tastes so much better than I could do at home. It's like, really all we're doing is mounting everything with butter. Like, that's it.
That's the secret. Should you bring questions with you that you want to ask? What are some good questions that you as an applicant should be coming with to the interview if they're not answered in the interview?
Yeah, so bring questions. The interview isn't just for the person getting the job. It's also an interview for the candidate, seeing if they want to work with this company, right? It may not be a fit for you. Just because they're interviewing you, you're also interviewing them. So bring questions.
At a wedding, I was actually a guest, but there was a big concern that there wasn't going to be enough alcohol at the next portion, which I don't know where these fears came from, but there were mass amounts of cars in the back field who had gone to LCBO and gotten coolers and filled them with ice and were tailgate partying in the back and then came into the wedding reception like that. So, no, no, don't do that. So, I'm sure they had fun, but I mean, it was the talk of the night, so.
Those were just some bits of the great conversations we've had and sometimes embarrassing lessons we've learned. If you think you can learn a thing or two still and are looking to have some laughs along the way, then this is the podcast for you.
You can find us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and anywhere else you look for your podcasts. Be sure to give us a follow and stay tuned for upcoming episodes.
Each episode will feature a different guest who gets to pick their beverage of choice to share during the conversation. So grab a drink of your own and we look forward to having you join us at the grown-ups table.
Did you have that there for that line?
Yes.